You ever look around and feel like you've seen the same velvet sofa in 3 different friends' houses? Or you remember that zigzag chevron pattern that was on, like, everything for a few years and then it just disappeared? Well, it's not a mystery, and it's definitely not random. The truth is, the style of your home is being shaped by forces we can actually see, measure, and, get this, even predict. So, how does this whole thing work?
Well, it's not like a handful of super influential designers just decide what's going to be cool next season. Interior design trends are more like a living, breathing thing. They have a measurable pulse. There are clear winners, definite losers. And believe me, the changes can happen incredibly fast.
Okay, take a look at this. This is the perfect example. On the left, you've got chevron decor. A few years back, you couldn't escape those zigzags. Now, search interest has totally dropped off a cliff. But on the right, look at velvet furniture. It used to be seen as kind of fussy, maybe a little old-fashioned. Not anymore. Interest has absolutely exploded as we've all rediscovered how amazing it feels. And it's not just a one-off thing with zigzags and velvet. Nope, we see this pattern playing out all over the place. That whole distressed, shabby chic look, yeah, it's kind of fading out, and bamboo flooring is going with it. But at the same time, things like classic tufted sofas, timeless marble, and kitchens with a real pop of color, they're all on the rise. There's a real, actual rhythm to what we all like. So that's the million-dollar question, right? It's one thing to feel like a trend is changing, but how can we actually see the data behind it? How do you put a number on what's cool and what's, well, not? Well, it turns out the main tool for this isn't some secret, expensive industry software. It's something that is 100% free and available to every single one of us right now. And it's made by a company you've probably heard of. It's called Google Trends. And honestly, it is such a simple but crazy powerful tool. All it does is track how popular a search term is on Google over time. It's basically a direct window into the collective curiosity of millions and millions of people. It shows you what we're all thinking about and what we're all looking for. And the best part? Using it is a piece of cake. Seriously. You just pop in a search term, let's say tufted sofa, then you can narrow it down by where you are and for what time period, like the last 5 years or even just the last day. And boom, you get this super simple graph that shows you the entire life cycle of that trend. Now, when you see that graph, the numbers are really easy to understand. A score of 100 just means that's the absolute peak popularity for that search term. That's the most it's ever been searched for in that time and place. Everything else on the graph is just measured against that high point. Simple as that. And every now and then, you'll see this one word, breakout. When you see that, buckle up. That's Google's way of saying a trend isn't just growing, it is absolutely exploding. We're talking a surge in interest of more than 5,000%. That is literally a cultural tidal wave in data form. So being able to track what's popular right now is pretty powerful stuff. But what if we could take it to the next level? What if we could use all this tech not just to see what's happening today, but to get a little peek into tomorrow? I mean, really, just stop and think about that for a second. Knowing a trend before it actually hits. If you're running a business, that's the dream. You know exactly what to stock. If you're decorating your house, it means you can pick something with real staying power. Knowing what's coming is a total game changer. This is where we get into the really high-tech stuff, big data. Researchers are now looking way beyond just what we search for. They're pulling in massive amounts of information from everywhere. What we're sharing on social media, sales data from online stores, what people are talking about on design websites. They even look back at historical trends to find patterns. Okay, but how do you make sense of all that data? You use a brain, an artificial brain. It's called an artificial neural network. And the whole idea is that it's built to mimic how our own brains learn. It can sift through all that messy information, find these tiny, complex patterns that a person would never spot, and use them to actually make predictions about the future. And hey, this isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. This is real, and it's happening right now. This technology is already being used to forecast what styles are coming next, turning all that abstract data into actual designs for homes we could be living in very soon. And here's the proof. Check out this graph. The purple line is what actually happened in the market for a certain design trend. The red line, that's the prediction the AI made. It's not 100% perfect, but wow, look at how closely it follows the real thing. The AI actually learned the pattern and predicted where it was headed. That's so cool. Okay, so an AI can make a really accurate graph.
That's super impressive, no doubt. But you can't live inside a graph, right? So how do we make that final jump from a line on a chart to an actual, living room? This right here is the final piece of the puzzle. They take all those predictions about which colors are hot, what materials people want, the layouts they prefer, and they feed all that information into powerful design software, often called CAD. And that software lets designers create these incredibly realistic 3D images of rooms. It's the bridge that takes a prediction and turns it into a picture of your future home.
So let's recap. We've gone from just spotting trends to predicting them with AI, and then turning those predictions into these amazing, realistic designs. But what does it all really mean? Why should you or I actually care about any of this?
Well, it actually means a lot. For homeowners like us, it means we can be smarter, we can pick styles that are going to last, instead of jumping on a fad that's about to die out. For businesses, it means they can have the right stuff in stock before we even know we want it. And for designers, it's like giving them a creative superpower. The ability to mix their artistic gut feelings with cold, hard data.
And all of this leaves us with one last, kind of huge question to think about. As this technology gets better and better at predicting what we're going to want, is it just going to be a mirror reflecting our own tastes back at us? Or could it become so influential that its predictions actually start to define our style for us? It's a powerful thought to end on, isn't it?